This week, a bill some say expands of voting rights was blocked by the Senate. The H.R. 1, also known as For the People Act, failed on a 50-50 vote after Republicans denied Democrats the 60 votes needed. ABC 45's Sarah Mastori joining us live now with more on what it means for North Carolinians and what's next when it comes to your voting rights. Sarah.
Camilla, supporters of the For the People Act say it expands voting rights, ends billionaires buying elections, and stops partisan gerrymandering. But opponents say the federal government shouldn't decide how each state runs an election.
I don't want voter fraud.
Governor Roy Cooper says bills like H.R. 1 are what's needed to protect the basic foundational right to vote.
We want to protect our democracy. That is something that is sacred, and making sure that every person's vote counts.
Cooper says the bill would put in federal regulations so states can't make it more difficult for certain groups of people to vote.
We've been able to depend on courts in the past to protect people's voting rights and civil rights, but we've seen changes in the court over the last 4 years.
But Republican National Committee spokesperson Dennard says the bill will use taxpayer dollars to fund politicians and their campaigns.
It does not put control or power into the hands of people living in North Carolina. It puts it in the control of Washington, D.C., federal standards, federal guidelines, federal bureaucrats telling you what to do, how to do it.
Here's my license. I don't need it or any other form of ID to vote in the polls in North Carolina. Too loose a law that Republicans say should not be in the bill.
If you want to be Mickey Mouse that day, you can go and get up and vote.
Something Cooper and many Democrats say adds barriers to prevent people from voting.
We're seeing it happening with changes in absentee and mail-in voting, changes in drop boxes, purging of voter rolls.
RNC leaders say they want to make it easier to vote, harder to cheat.
Too many people have fought, bled, and died that look like me to have the right to vote, for it not to be secure, for it not to be safe, and for us not to have election integrity.
It's so important that we elect forward-thinking governors in these states and forward-thinking state legislators.
Republican leaders say they'd like to see bipartisan agreement that an ID is needed to vote. I'm told For the People Act is not a done deal yet. More changes could be coming to the bill. Governor Cooper says for now he plans to keep building public support for voting reform. Reporting in studio, I'm Sarah Mastori, ABC 45 News.